Hi there, and welcome to Mom Coach Wife. My name is Alina Michelle, and today is Mompreneur Monday. In episode 5, we are meeting Tara of Miss Methodical. And every single Monday, there is a new mompreneur who I feature here. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiration on being more than just a mom. For now, let's jump into Tara's interview. Hello. The first thing that I want you to do for everyone is just introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are.
Okay, my name's Tara Aoman, and I run a small business. I'm a copywriter.
Okay. And what got you into copywriting? Like, what was your inspiration?
Well, it's like kind of like a roundabout story. I was doing actually home daycare, and COVID hit. And then I'm like, these little kids are probably great vectors of COVID. So I don't know if I want to be doing home daycare anymore. So that kind of gave me like a time to like think about what I would like to do, right? So, but I still want to be home. I want to be with my son, but I just thought, this is perfect time to just like explore something that I wanted to do. So I leapt into the business world, and I actually started as a legal administrative assistant because that's what I used to do. But I ended up switching because I found a coach who's like, why are you doing something you hate doing? And I'm like, well, that's a good point. She said I was like such a good writer that she kind of pushed me in the copywriting arena. And then as soon as I got into it, I loved it. I loved it so much. Like anything copywriting, like I'm just absorbing it. And yes, that's what I've always wanted to do, is write. So it was almost like, you're letting me. It's something I love. This is amazing. So yeah.
Awesome. Yes, it is really important to do things that we actually enjoy doing, because that helps with our own personal fulfillment. And I know we talked a little bit earlier about what I do here, and one of the things that's so important for mothers creating balance is having some fulfillment within their lives. And if you're doing something that you don't like, you're not fulfilling yourself. So I'm glad that you met that coach and she was like, hey, stop this.
Yeah.
So now you mentioned that you have a son. How old is your son?
I have a 5-year-old son, and I also have 2 older children who are much older. One is 27 and one is 22.
I actually, although you said that, meeting you, like, I wouldn't think that you had children that are almost my age.
I know. People say that. I can't even believe it. So
yeah, that's crazy. So you age gracefully, I can tell you that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You've raised someone to being up to 27, and you look like you could be 27 yourself. So
yeah, it's a good thing. I know it's my daughter, and they're always like, "Is that your sister?" She's like,
"Oh,
that's my mom."
That's my mom.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what is your favorite thing to do with your children?
Probably laugh and play and have fun. I love playing and like just kidding around. Our house is just like really, that's what we do when we're together. We just like to have fun. Like, it doesn't matter what we're doing as long as like humor is just a huge part of our lives. And so we like to be crazy, and we say we're the weirdest weird people because we're all weird and we love it. So yeah, we just like hanging out and whatever, because now it's harder to hang out when they're older. So anytime we get together is nice.
Nice. Well, it's always good to have people that you can show all your crazy sides to. So
yeah.
That's what family's for, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you've been a mom for a while, but did you always see yourself as a mom even prior to becoming one?
Yeah. When I was little, I was like all about the dolls and looking after people and little kids. I loved kids, and I always Yeah, I knew 100% that I would be a mom because I just, my own family, we had foster children. We had, like, I was just always around children all the time. So I knew that that was something that, I don't know, I just felt like that was something I really wanted to do.
Okay. So you always had that spirit of like caring for others.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nice. Now, other than children, do you have any fur babies?
I don't. I would like one, but my partner is like,
No fur babies.
yeah, no fur babies allowed. So all we get to have is I managed to sneak in a couple of fish and a hamster. So
Oh, hamsters are kind of furry.
yeah,
Right?
they're furry. It's a good one. She likes me.
Okay, well, at least you got to settle for the fish and the hamsters. So
Yeah.
I am a dog lover, so that is why I ask everyone whether or not they are a pet parent. And I was a pet parent prior to being a real parent.
Yeah.
So yeah, pet, as you can hear, it's like
yeah.
I cued him in.
Yeah. I mean, I love dogs. I keep working on it, but you know.
Yeah. Best of luck. It's hard to convince someone who's not a dog lover to be like, yeah, sure, I want one in my house now.
Yeah.
So if you were to choose one person, either in your life or celebrity or what have you, that would be considered your greatest inspiration in life, who would that be?
Probably Michelle Obama. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I love how she is. Like, the reason I fell in love with her is I watched this one episode when she was with Ellen, and she was just like so chill and down to earth. But yet, you know, she's super smart and super like intuitive and like is just, I don't know. I just love that she's so educated. She's so intuitive, but then she's still like funny and fun and like, she just, in her quotes, she just has so much great things to say. Like I always put her quotes out because I love her. I love her.
Yes, I can agree. That's
her journal. Yeah.
She truly embodies like elegance.
Yeah.
In such a way, like so many times, especially through media, we see elegant women and they're like kind of snooty and everything. Yeah. But then with her, it's like you see the elegance, but you also feel like I could just go talk to her about like
exactly.
anything. She probably have like a really cool response to it, but something that's also gonna like enlighten you. So
yeah, she's my fave.
If you're watching, Michelle, subscribe to my channel. Thanks. So what are some hobbies that you have outside of business and outside of your children?
Well, I like writing. That's sort of my business, but like I liked that before. Like I liked writing and reading. Like reading and writing. I could like live in a bookstore. Like as soon as I go in and smell the books, I just love books. I love writing. I love music, dancing. What else do I like to do? I like to be outside. I like nature and doing fun stuff outside. Yeah, I think that's, yeah. Otherwise, I don't have time for much else. And I kind of forgot what it was like to just have my own freedom. So like sometimes it's hard for me to remember what I even did before, but those are the things that I try to keep doing.
Awesome. What's your favorite book?
Oh my God, I can't, that's a hard question because I love so many books. Like I have so many books on my bookshelf because like, I don't know, I can't explain it. I just like so many different books. It's hard for me to narrow one down, but like there was one Oprah book that's called Where the Heart Is. And about this young woman who like actually gives birth in a Walmart because she's running away from home. It sounds weird, but like it's she ends up being homeless and she kind of lives in the Walmart while she's pregnant, but it just has all these characters that come in and it's a real story. So it just teaches, it warms your heart kind of thing. I won't ruin it, so
okay.
Everyone wants to.
So what is it called again?
I guess Where the Heart Is.
Where the Heart Is?
Where the Heart Is, yeah.
Okay. So if anyone is a reader, Where the Heart Is a good one. Sounds interesting.
It's a good one.
Curious how this woman like lives in a Walmart for.
Yeah, like it's weird. It's weird that it's good because it sounds weird.
Interesting. Well, we're going to move into talking a little bit about your business. So can you tell everyone what the name of your business is?
My business is called Ms. Methodical INC. And it came from like my 5-year-old's Mr. Men book because I couldn't think of anything. So I'm just like,
shout out to the 5-year-old helping you find a name.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we can take inspiration from anywhere. So, hey, 5-year-old named it.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out a name. So honestly, like, and I think I talked about it before. My husband named my business. I like
really?
names out there, and he like picked one. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I know it's hard because I came up with these great ones, but then someone already have it. They had it.
I ran into that a little bit when I was first like trying to figure out names, and then was like, well, how can I like modify this to not be like super close to what they have, but still represent what I'm trying to represent.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
That can be fun for sure. What are your exact products or services that you offer?
Okay, I offer copywriting and content writing for like my actual niche is mom coaches. Mm-hmm. So I do their copywriting. So I do blogs, websites, emails, your social media captions. I'm starting to probably get into Facebook ads. So I just write all the copy for entrepreneur's business.
Sweet. That is very time consuming. I know because right now I do all my own copywriting and it is.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of people don't want to do it because it's a lot and there's a lot to it, right? There's a skill to it. So yeah. I like doing it because I like writing. I especially like writing for like more quirky, funky coaches because it just gives more creative room to like come up with stories and things. Yeah.
Nice. So when you're doing copywriting, because obviously, like I said, I do it for myself, but I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily that great at it. It's just like the stage in my business, it makes more sense for me to be a one-woman show at this point. But when you do this copywriting for people, are you like specifically, I know you talked about like the quirkier coaches, are you specifically looking at like their brand? Is there like a message that you try to like keep across all of a particular client's content?
I think it's more of finding that what they like their brand and kind of their voice. So it's like really watching them. Like I watch their videos and I watch how they speak and I watch, I read what they write, and then it's kind of just like embodying their words and the way they say things into their copy. So it sounds like them, right? So like if someone's more serious, it would be more of a serious tone to an email, right? Or if someone's more funky, it would be like that, or funny or whatever. But it's more like just incorporating. It's almost like you have to be that person. You have to have a little bit of empathy and things. You have to kind of feel that person and what they want and they see for their business, kind of like getting into what they want in their business and like just making that come to life in their copy. Okay. It's hard, right? Because you don't want to write, everyone doesn't want it. That's the whole point, right? You don't want your copy to sound the same as everybody else's copy, because
right, and that's what I was wondering was how you embody that person in words for an email or a caption, what have you, when you're one person, but I'm sure there's different types of people that you work with. Do you ever the best way for me to ask this question is how do you get to know that person? Like, for example, do you do like a meet and greet with them and start to learn everything that is their brand, or do you just, how you even mentioned earlier, watch videos on them and learn who they are that way?
Like I do both. So there's a huge, like a bunch of questions. So like if I onboarded a client, I would like have a special call just to get to know their business, like what they do, how they started their business, what their vision for their business is, what like it's a long list of questions just to kind of get to see, what's it all about? What do they see happening? What kind of person are they? What kind of business do they want? What kind of message do they want to put out there? So there's a whole bunch of questions that I ask. so that I can get a feel. And then I just try to like really get to know their business as well. So I like looking at them, interviewing them, seeing them, you know, just trying to seeing what kind of content and stuff they've put out earlier. Plus interviewing them helps me get a feel of their business, right? Because sometimes you can just look on Instagram and see the vibe of someone's business, and you can portray that, right? And sometimes it's getting people more out of their shell, because like a lot, like when you first start a business, it's really hard to be yourself. Like, to like really know what you want. So sometimes you can help. So a copywriter can also help you clarify what it is you want in your business. Yeah.
Nice. So I know you mentioned that you did some changes in business due to COVID. So how long have you been actually doing copyright as a business?
It's been about 6 months now that I've been doing copywriting. Before that, yeah, I was doing home daycare, but before that, I was a legal assistant. So I would just skip to here. But yeah, I've been doing it for about 6 months now, and I'm also taking courses. I'm taking a course in January from her name is Alex Catoni, and she's actually a really, really cool copywriter. If you ever get a chance to look at her videos, look at them. She is very informative. She offers a lot of value, and she's like super good personality. But I'm taking her copywriting course in January, and I'm really excited about it because she's amazing, and she I don't know, she's the ultimate copywriter you'd want to be, right? Because she built her own business from when she was younger, right? And she has this amazing business now, and yeah, she's amazing. Look her up, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Alex, I just wrote her name down so that I can look it up later.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, it's great for one that you're investing in yourself and investing in your business in this way, and going to learn more, because there's always things that we can learn within our wheelhouses. Nobody's perfect, obviously, and there's always like different ways to approach different things. So it's really good that you are going and taking that extra step only 6 months in the business to be like, hey, I'm going to take a course and learn more about how I can make this great for my clients. So
yeah,
that's really
because I believe like there's a lot, because you can call yourself a copywriter, like it's not there's no school or whatever you have to take to be a copywriter.
Right.
I believe in, for my business, because this is how I believe I'm more ethical. I believe I can't like sell a service that I feel like I am not an expert in, or I feel like I'm not going to bring something to them with. So that's why, even though I like know a lot about copywriting, I want to know as much as I can. I want to be like a good, really great copywriter.
Okay. Awesome. So tell me one goal, aside from the course now that I know that you're taking, one goal that you have for this year to accomplish within your business.
I think I just like want to have because I'm new, I just want to have a really established client base, and I want my business to really establish what my business is about and have it out there. And I want to like be attracting the people that that are my ideal clients, the people that I want to work with. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year, then I have established all that, and then I can maybe branch out to other things and scale my business up. But right now I'm really focused on creating a service that people, that people will talk about, that people say, yeah, this, like, I'm happy with what I got from this person. And like, I don't know, I think you have to, I'm more of a slow builder, like I feel like you should be established. You should be putting out quality work, because this is a business that I want to sustain for long term, right? So I want it to be something that is not just like skyrockets and work, whatever. I want it to be like that and stay like that. And I want to be known as someone who delivers quality.
Okay. Awesome. That is really important, especially with what you're doing, that it's a consistency in the quality that is being received.
I know for a fact, like if I was at a stage to have a copywriter, I would want someone that I know like I can rely on my information going out and being in a way that like I would say it or would think I would say it at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's so important to put quality at the forefront, and not just quantity so that you make the money, but so that you can actually enjoy what you're doing and your clients can enjoy the service that they're receiving. So that's great. I've completely lost my train of thought and I had a question lined up. So now I'm going back to my list of questions because I completely forgot what I was going to ask you in regards to what you just said. So right now, you actually answered that one already because you were doing legal and you swapped over. I was going to ask you why this business out of everything, but you enjoy writing and you actually answered me that earlier. Now, when you're doing your work, are you working with people who are local to you, like in the area that you currently live in, or are you working with like anybody on the internet, nationwide, worldwide? What's your span for your client base?
Yeah, it's definitely worldwide, especially with COVID right now. Like it's hard to get out there and just, on the pavement or just like network or whatever. So it's basically online. And so, yeah, most of the people are not, I live in Canada actually. So almost every client I have is not in Canada.
Like, really?
Yeah, I meet more people from probably from the States mostly, but I would work with anyone because it's such it's just easy to work with anyone when it's online, right? So, but that's mostly what I've been working with right now. Yeah, I don't see a lot of Canadians, which is funny, but actually 2 people I talk to are Canadian, but like a lot of Canadians on the online space, really.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I never really like looked into like what different areas people are in, but that's kind of shocking. Like you guys are our neighbors.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just, because of what I'm looking at, like what my niche and everything that I just don't, but I mean, there are definitely Canadians, but like, it's more like, I find more of the States, like the people I've run into who actually are Canadians, they don't live in Canada, like they're like overseas. So they're not even in Canada. So I haven't met too many people from Canada. Yeah, it's majority the States, which is different because you're from Canada. So it's like a whole, and then when you write copy, sometimes you have to remember that, okay, they don't call it this, they call it this, or
yeah, those few little tweaks.
Heard of this? Like if I put something in a story and people are like, what? Like you have to remember that, oh yeah, they don't celebrate that here. Like we celebrate things different. Like we celebrate Thanksgiving earlier than the States.
Yeah, I noticed that. And
yeah,
I think so someone that I was following was saying like it was Thanksgiving. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And then I realized like from something else they had put the Canadian flag, and I was like, oh, they don't. Obviously, their Thanksgiving wouldn't be our Thanksgiving. Like,
yeah, it's different. So then people are like, what? It's Thanksgiving, or like you have we have July 1st and you have July 4th. So they're like, what are you guys talking?
Yeah, and some of the dates are really close. And I think it's the UK where like Mother's Day is different too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've seen posts where people are like, Happy Mother's Day, and it's not even May. And I'm like,
yeah, you're like, what?
Did you schedule your post on the wrong date?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is really interesting how different those things are. Now, with you working worldwide, do you translate at all? I know obviously we're speaking in English, and I'm assuming that's your primary Canadian.
Yeah.
But if you were to get someone, let's say in like Hong Kong, that wanted to work with you, I don't know. I don't know how far you're reaching out right now.
Yeah, I'm primarily English speaking, so yeah.
Okay.
To go with the English speaking people. Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, I know some people. I know. It's funny because through my copywriting course, there's Spanish, or like they speak a different language and they write copy in English. So like I think that's amazing. So
wow.
Yeah.
Do they like not speak English at all, or? I mean,
they speak it like they speak English, but like they're able to write. Like this one guy who's like unbelievable. Like he was speaking in English, but then he was writing his copy in English, and it was so good. Like there's people who are English that can't read copy like that. So yeah, it's amazing how some people can just switch back and forth. Yeah.
Nice. Well, learn something new every day. I definitely like now I'm going to be reading captions and wondering like who wrote this.
Yeah, because sometimes I can actually tell that the person who wrote, like if they'll have a social media captions that they write, and then the email someone else will write, and I can tell because I'm like, that you didn't write that. Because that's completely the
language is a little bit different, so I know somebody else wrote this one.
Yeah.
Nice. Kind of interesting. It sounds like when I watch movies and my husband can like pinpoint like different stuff with like cars or guns that's like not accurate. I'm like, what? Like to me it means absolutely nothing, but he's like, there's no way that could have happened because of this, that, the other. Like, but you're doing it with copyright. You're like, no way you wrote this because
the person that wrote this didn't what happened like to the person who just wrote that last time, because this isn't the same person. He took a huge course in copywriting.
Definitely completely about how much you know about that particular thing, because I think like someone like me, if someone sent me an email, I would just be like, oh, that's a really good email, like I resonated with that, or no I didn't, and I would never notice like that somebody else must have written it. It was
it's really funny once you get into it and you notice things like for advertisements. When you learn a lot about advertising, it's like you're looking like all the advertisements, you're like, wow, what a great way they put that or did that, or like now every email I get in my box, I'm like,
He's like analyzing it.
What could they do here? What could they do? It's just like me and graphics. Like when people go, oh, that's a killer graphic, I'm like I'm not sure why, but I'm sure it is. Like I just like it's some people just know their stuff, right? So
like I just, one more thing on that, then we'll move forward. I just learned some things with video editing. So we were watching YouTube the other day, and it's like, I know how they layered that. And so I went through and like explained to my husband like how they layered that particular thing to keep the audio on one and have a different visual and everything. And it's just those little things that end up being really cool to you and that click, and you can pick it up on like the most basic of levels, and it's
it's amazing.
So how often do you work on your business? Like what does a day look like for you in business?
It's been a little bit squirrely lately because my son is in virtual school, which is craziness. So I try to do a little bit while he's in school, but he's always like, Mom. So, I do most in the afternoon and at night when he goes to bed. So probably around 4 or 5 hours a day. I try to work on it.
Nice. Especially with being a full-time teacher too, because that's basically what we are with virtual learning.
It's great. And he's 5. Like, what can he do? Like, he can't download stuff to the internet. Like, he's like, he can't like upload stuff and print stuff, and
so he's gonna definitely need mom's help. We're doing at-home pre-K because our daughter's only 3. And I can't even imagine like how much it is when you have to have them there at a specific time, and you have to make sure that they're following along. And I like between the ages of like 3 and 10, really, I feel like kids are like all over the place and not really that focused.
Like I thought he was focused before virtual school. Now I'm like, do you have ADHD? Like he's like, probably because his energy is nowhere to go, because we're in where I live, we've been in lockdown pretty well the entire time.
Oh wow.
Had like a couple months where it wasn't like some sort of restriction. So he hasn't been able to see friends or anything. And his obviously siblings are much older. So he's like kind of like doesn't have anywhere to put his energy. So I'm like, my whole day of virtual school is basically pay attention. Like,
what did they just say? You weren't paying attention. That virtual learning is basically employing us to be teachers too. I learned in this that I am not a teacher, And I appreciate teachers so much more than I never really gave it much of a thought, but yeah, teachers.
Yeah, they deserve my, I can't, like, I get impatient. I'm like, yeah, they deserve my respect, man. They have a lot to do.
And especially when it's your own kid, because it's like that expectation that of course you have of your own child, and you're like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? Like, they just told you what to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I just wrote the H. I just wrote it. I'm like, okay, Tara, you need to take a step back.
Oh yeah. Has he ever like repeated different things that you said back to you?
Yes. Yeah, he's like, so like, I don't know what happened when he turned 5, but all of a sudden he knows all this stuff, and he's like, that's not how it goes, Mom. That's not how you do that. That's, you made a mistake saying that word. I'm like, yeah. So now he's like schooling me.
Yeah, they're a real good mirror of our flaws and our good things too. But
yeah,
if you ever want to know what you're doing wrong, introduce yourself to a toddler.
I know. But you told me, Mom. I thought you said we couldn't do that.
Oh yeah. But you said, well, I'm breaking the rule today, okay?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a big person.
Reinforcing your authority like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So with having about 4 to 5 hours for business, of course you have virtual learning with your son. How much time are you making for yourself in, let's say, a week?
Yeah, probably not a lot and not enough. Yeah, it's hard because like I didn't expect him to be home. Like, honestly, I thought he was gonna go to school. So I'm all this time. Like, I'll have all day, woo. And yeah, it didn't happen. So now it is tough. It's tough to like have enough time because like when you're writing, you have to have like a focused time. So the only time when he's in bed. So like I don't have a lot of time to do stuff for myself, but I'm trying. This is my New Year's resolution though, because I really need to. I don't even watch TV. Like, I don't read my books for my like own pleasure. Like, I haven't done so much because I didn't realize that starting a business was so much work.
Oh yeah, especially in the start. It does get easier. It definitely gets easier as time goes on, because the first part, of course, is creating all these different systems and getting your name out there, and it's like really beating the pavement hard, even if it is virtual pavement. You know, it is really, really difficult in those first few months, first couple years, but it slowly gets easier. Other than this business, I've experienced it in others, and it's like those first few are really, really tough, and it feels like you don't get any sleep.
Like, thank you for telling me that. Yeah, because it's like, what? Like, but the thing is, I love it, so it makes it easier, you know. Like when you went to work, like I used to be like, I hate work, but now like it's easier to work in this much because I like it so much.
Yeah. And that is the difference. Like, if, like we said earlier, if it's something that you're not passionate about, something that you don't love, like it's draining. Like you don't want to get out of bed to go do it. But when it's something that you love, like I can see how much you love writing. And so it's like, oh, I have this little corner of space. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to write. And one of the things that I want people listening to understand too is that although you don't make time specifically for yourself as much as you would hope to, and I do hope that in the new year, by the way, everyone, we are recording this before 2021, even though you guys will see it in February.
I forgot.
I do hope that in the new year that you're able to make some more time for yourself. But the beauty of doing something that you love is that although it's technically your business, it is to some degree that time that you're making for yourself and investing into your business, doing something that you're passionate about. Now, if you're doing a business that you're not passionate about, then you're just investing into a business. You're not really investing into yourself so much because you're not really fulfilling yourself when you're doing things that you're not passionate about, as you experienced when you first were trying to figure out what you were going to do in the pandemic, and you were to go do something that you knew you didn't like, and shout out to that coach again for telling you,
Yeah.
like, no, you don't like doing this. You need to do something else. So,
Yeah.
Now, this is a really interesting one because you love writing and you love books so much. If there was a book written about your life, what would it be titled?
Oh God. Let me see. That's a good one. The Ups and Downs of Tara. Yeah, that's it.
The ups and downs. Would it be like a little roller coaster in the background for the
Yeah.
couple?
There's been a lot, like there's been obviously, like I have like older children, so like I was a single mom for years, and so there's just been a lot of ups and downs in my life, like, but I've always come up. So yeah.
And that's the upside, you know, you always come up somehow. That's great. So the ups and downs of Tara, if you guys see it in the show, so we know it's about Tara's life.
Yeah.
And for your business, what has been the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome in these? I know it's only been 6 months, but if you were to choose something, what would be those obstacles?
Yeah, definitely my mindset, my belief in myself, because this is a business where you have to sort of sell yourself, which is not something I did. Like all of a sudden I'm all over social media, and before this you wouldn't even see my face on social media. So it's been very hard for me to do that. Very hard for me to like put myself out there. Like I don't like I'm more of a humble person. So I don't like when I first looked at Instagram and all these girls are like, oh, you know, like hair, and they're like, they're like, yeah, buy my course. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that. Like, I can't be like that. But shout out to my coach again. She's really a proponent of being yourself. Just be yourself. Just 100% be. You don't have to be those girls. You don't have to be this person. You have to just be yourself. So, in fact, that's been very helpful to me and actually helping me overcome things that I used to feel before, because I was very underconfident, very shy, would not speak, like, look at me talking now, would not like speak on camera. I wouldn't, like, that was terrifying to me. So to sell myself, to say, yes, you want to work with me, you want to, you want my services, like that kind of thing. I didn't want to sell Girl Guide cookies. Like I'm not into selling things. So I'm like, oh, and now I love marketing. Like I think marketing is like psychologically, it's like really interesting. But yeah, I think it's just like being confident in myself and believing in myself and that I can do this. Yeah.
Again, like you said, shout out to your coach. I'm glad that she was able to help you break that wall. It is a hard one to break. I don't know if you consider yourself to be an extrovert or introvert, or which way where you really fall, but I know that it can be difficult to break out of that shell. Like we talked earlier, and it was like part of why I'm doing this is because I'm on camera with someone else, and it's like a little bit easier to put yourself out there when there's someone else there with you versus just like staring into a camera. It can be very intimidating in a weird way. So I'm glad you were able to overcome that and shift your mindset to be confident in yourself and know, like, you don't have to be the Instagram model. You can just be Tara. And that's going to be something that people are going to really attach to, because there's other people like Tara out there. And if we don't represent ourselves, then all the other little girls or boys out there that would connect with who we are going to feel the same way that we did at the beginning. So that's really a huge obstacle. And I'm sure there's other people out there who have experienced that one as well. If you could change anything about your life as it is today, what would you change?
That's a good one. You know what? I don't. I'm older, so like I have more experience in the whole life thing. I don't think I would change anything, because, and this is why, not that my life is perfect, because that's far from perfect, but I feel like when I look back on my life, because now I am old enough to look back on my life, I feel like all the things that happened made my life interesting. So like you can have the perfect life all your life, but like it's boring, right? Like
Yeah.
you learn how you see how much you've grown, you see how things that you've gone through that you never thought you would ever survive. You know, you just look at your life and everything is meant to come to this point, and then it's easier to look back and say, yeah, like if that didn't happen, I would never have done this. Or if I met that person, I would never have my kids. Or if I, you know, didn't take this leap right now, I would never have a business. So it's like, I don't think I would change things, because I think that everything is like a process of growing.
Nice. Well, that's good. It's always good to be happy in the different things that, even the things that weren't necessarily the happiest, but happy with where you are today because of all of those things. Last thing, as far as like more into the personal and balance, if you had 3 wishes of any sort, it can be for business, it can be for personal, it could be completely outside of your life, what would those 3 wishes be and why?
Okay, number 1, I already know this one. I want a chef, because I hate cooking. And it's hard, and I can't think it up, and I don't have time. And I want to eat healthy, and it's not that I can't cook, I just don't love it. And then, you know, I'm gonna have to deal with that part of life, and that'd be just fine with me.
I like wish number 1.
Yeah. Wish number 2, that COVID was over. So I could have my life back. And I thought my life was boring before, but apparently it was a party compared to right now. Like, I'm just going crazy, because in Canada, we've been in lockdown so long, I don't even think I can talk to people anymore, like except on camera. I might have to like hold the phone around and like be able to talk to people. Yeah. And then my 3rd wish is that my business is like very long lasting and happy for me. So this is like in all of my life the most happiest I've been working. So I really hope that I can make it last for as long as possible, because I really like it.
Awesome. Well, I hope that it is very long lasting, that COVID does end, and that you get a chef. And if you get a chef, I'm gonna need someone to ask me what my 3 wishes are, so I can wish for 1 too.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's go ahead and wrap this interview up. For those of you who are watching this particular interview, it is pre-recorded, as we mentioned earlier, but you can catch us live on Instagram. That will be linked below, as well as some things that Tara is going to get into in a little bit. You'll find all of the links to her business in the description below as well. But if you were to talk to a mom who wanted to start a business, and maybe it's copywriting specifically, what would your advice be to that mom?
I think I would say, number 1, like carve out your time, like make sure that you are carving out time for your business and time for your kids. So like depending on what stage your babies are in, or like if you have babies, if you have teenagers, or if there's a different level of care, so a different level of time. And not feel guilty about it. Like not feel guilty if like you have to spend an hour doing something and your little one has to like play on their own. I'd also like encourage you to get a coach, honestly, because it speeds up the process. Like you can learn all of this stuff on your own, but it just speeds up the process, and it helps with the mindset thing that if you're a mom, you're gonna have this mindset thing. You're gonna have it because you're a mom, so you're like in this one category, and it's hard to go to another category without having some mind stuff going on. So I think that coaching, and before this, I would have told you coaching is and like you're gonna pay your money to these people, but they're like some of the most important people in this business, because most of the people that I talk to, these businesses started to take off, have had a coach, and it just helps you like streamline everything and put all the everything together, and they have a lot of good advice for you. And then I would
sorry for that. There's a
is your dog?
Super
cute. Of course.
Thank you. Go to your room. That's fair.
Yeah, and then I would just say go for it. Whatever your dream is, I think that you should know it and go for it, and always have that passion, so then you can feel like you have a piece of yourself all the time, and something that's yours, something that's just yours.
Yeah. Awesome. So sorry that my dog interrupted.
No, that's fine. He's cute.
Really important part of this interview.
It's okay.
So tell everyone where they can connect with you beyond this interview. I will also have it pop up somewhere on the screen. I haven't decided where yet, so you guys will see it. And right now, I just don't know where it's going to go. And it'll also, like I said, be in the description below. But go ahead and tell everyone where and how they can connect with you.
Okay, so you can actually find me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Methodical. I also have a Facebook page, Miss Methodical INC, but the best place is Instagram. It has links to my portfolio, and if you want to book a discovery call, all my links are in my Instagram.
Sweet. All right, so definitely hit her up on Instagram. I think I found you through Instagram, as a matter of fact, myself. Yeah.
So
definitely connect with Miss Methodical on Instagram.
Yeah.
Again, the link will be below. If you are like watching this on a different device and you have your phone nearby, you can just type it in because you'll see it on the screen. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this particular interview. If you guys want to learn more about Tara and her copyright business, be sure to catch us live at 8 p.m. today, the day that you guys are watching this. Thank you so much, Tara, for taking the time out to chat with me, to share your business, and to inspire other moms to be so much more than a mom.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.